me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Yeah, we're having some problems. Cowboy trying to connect here. I'm using the house phone now, so.
Yeah. Hopefully things are better. We can hear you good, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I was trying to get a little Cowboy earlier. I was going to tell him to play Who's Going to Fill Their Shoes with Georgie Jones for Al. So.
Oh, we can find that, I'm sure.
Yeah, find it for me after I do my report because, you look at Ray's gone, Clint and Al, and the list goes on of different entertainers that we've lost.
Yeah.
And, there's up-and-coming younger people, which is great. But these are legends. These are people that have played music, went through the hard times of hardcore challenges in the music world, and bar scene after bar scene, hall after hall, travel after travel, night after night. So they paid their dues. Tell you that.
They did, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, you're talking kind of soft there, so I don't know if you're trying to whisper.
No, it's just me losing my voice from time to time.
Wait, I want to find the volume here too. Give me a second.
All right. Might have been because I was singing 7 hours in the car on my way home yesterday.
That's the highest I can put it. So,
you can hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let me start off again, since we're talking about Hal. Clearly, as I said, Al of course, left Wednesday, August 27th. He was raised and born in Chartrand, and he was a man of music and passion and also economics. He ran a business, in Selkirk. He ran a restaurant, and he moved his restaurant to MMF's offices downstairs. And ever since then, his son has taken over, and his son's wife, and they've been running a very profitable and well-organized restaurant. And Al was very proud of that, to see his son take over and take that function very seriously, because Al invested a lot of time, a lot of his energy, in making sure the restaurant business he ran were not only reputable, but also one that you can talk about when you leave there and say, I had a hell of a good meal there.
Yeah.
So now I know Don, it was quite sad. He called me, and in fact, that night, because I had a meeting with the chief of police, Don went to visit Hal, along with Phil, and then went, and his wife, and Oliver, and that afternoon I was in meetings. So I finished my meeting about 6:30 with the chief of police in Winnipeg, and I talked to Don prior to that meeting at 4, started at 4, I think. And he said, well, let's go tomorrow, because I went today, and he was kind of tired, and I knew I was going to be finishing off at 6:30 or 7. And it was a long meeting, and we were negotiating a major issue. And then he called me at 9:30 at night. He said Hal passed. So I didn't get a chance to say personally goodbye. I kept on sending it through Don to him, but I'd love to have been able to go there. I was going to go the next day, and I didn't have that next day. It was gone.
Yeah.
But strange thing about Al, because his closeness with Don and the rest of them, Don was telling me the story that night he passed. He said, I was with Phil. We had dinner, and then we were playing some slots, and at about 8:30, he said, somebody yelled, Don. And I looked back, he said, and I seen Phil sitting over there. I said, what? And Phil said, I never said nothing. And so he heard somebody call his name. So he didn't pay much attention more. He was wondering what the hell, maybe just hearing things. Kept on playing slots, and he got the call after 9 and told that Hal had passed. So maybe Hal, I said, went to say goodbye to you before he left. So and I know he's very touched by the loss of Al. And so we're actually putting a tribute at the Assembly for Al, because he's the one that organized all the musicians all the time, and had that music night for us with fiddle and dance and some of our own great musicians performing. Al was always the lead in that, along with Oliver on his side. And so we're going to work towards now in October to have a tribute night for him. Instead of having just a bunch of bands come in to play their music, we're going to try and make sure we sing all of Al's, even though it's regular music, a lot of it, because Al performed throughout many of, the Sherbrooke Hotel was one, Westbrook, and different places. And so if we can get him to, there's other musicians now that he had commissioned and hired to go and play at our assemblies to play some tribute songs to him. So that's what we're going to be planning on Friday. I think it's Friday night at the assembly, so it's October 16th. But Don and all of them will work on that, and just to show our, again, respect to Hal and the many years he served to help the Métis Nation move forward. So again, Al, I know you're in your new home, and I'm sure I see you once in a while. You to send a message to your son and your family, and that you're thinking about them, and that you've not forgotten them, and you'll be, watching over them still, no matter where you are. Also, we lost another great man, Chief Jim Bear.
That's right.
He's actually descendant of Chief Pegwas, and he was the chief of Broken and the Ojibwe Nation for some time, and president of Aboriginal Council of Manitoba. And Jim and I got along very, very well. John and we talked back and forth, text back and forth, and we talk about different business ventures, different issues, different political issues that are happening in Canada. So he was always keeping tabs on what I was doing and where we were going, and not once did he ever express any negativity. He always talked about how proud he was to see the Métis and our government grow and make our mark and make it clear that Indigenous people matter. So he was a visionary and one that hopefully, without doubt, will be honored by his people. Mm-hmm. And I think he played a very important role in the South Beach Casino in the past with a vision.
Yeah.
And so he was always there. He's one of his times that his proudest achievement was the repatriation of his uncle, Tommy Prince, Sergeant Tommy Prince, and he got the medals back for that. So, and he received the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal, Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee, Canadian Race Relations Foundation Community Champion Award, and on and on and on. So he had many accolades, and I hope I can go to his funeral. I hope I'm going to be here, and I'll try to make sure, no matter what, I am here and go to Godal. And I know I leave. I come home Monday. I come home tonight actually from Dauphin. We're at my mom's, I think it's 13th annual golf tournament, and just so people say, well, Martha Chartrand played golf. No, I don't never even know what golf was. I don't think. And, but what happened when she passed, because there was about 40 of us at the hospital daily, and she lived to about 10 to 12 days at the hospital, and we were there every day. And I seen everybody when she passed, the tears were shed, and people were crying, and you could see sadness just, right throughout the rooms and outside, and everybody's holding on to each other. So I said, I can't. I'm the oldest now. I'm responsible. That's in my culture in a way, and Métis culture, as far as I know, the oldest takes the responsibility of keeping the family together and try to hold the family together and keep the family accountable and reliable and protecting of the name. So I looked at everybody and I think, holy Christ, they're all going to go home. They're all going to go sad. They're all going to be driving home, and they're all not going to see each other for a long time. So I said, you know what? Let's go golfing. Let's have a barbecue. Mm-hmm. Some of you don't golf. I don't care. We'll just drive around in carts. So I convinced them all, and we all went golfing. And then ever since, we've been gathering every year. And it helps keep the family together. We don't have to wait for funerals or weddings.
Yeah.
So we go every year, but there'll be probably about 50 of us today. And we all come together and we laughed and talk about some of our stories since we last seen each other, and just reminisce. And sometimes we talk, of course, about my mom, and my granddaughter is coming in, and she's named after my mom. So that's important, and these are important aspects of family. And I know that the same thing will go to Al. There'll be always talks about his music, and the same with Jim. There'll be talks about his political activity and his vision, and so that'll carry on and linger on in many families. And as I said, for us, I thought it was an idea to keep our family together, and it's been working ever since. We've been getting together,
That's
and we'll
great.
get together again today. There's birthdays I got to get to now. Mm-hmm. Happy 48th birthday is going to Keith Forgy of St. Eustache, Debbie and Doug Forgy's son, who's celebrating his birthday on Monday, September 1st. Happy 19th birthday go to Aidan Mayer, Judy Mayer's grandson, who's celebrating his birthday on Tuesday, September 2nd. Happy birthday to David Gray, Chief Electoral Officer of the MMF, Legal Counsel, celebrating his birthday on Tuesday, September 2nd. Happy 17th birthday is going to Ronald, baby Ron Chartrand, my miracle baby.
Oh, my goodness.
My grandson.
Yeah.
He'll be celebrating his birthday. Remember, he's supposed to die at 1. He's supposed to die at 5. All projections by the doctors. You'll never surpass that. He's going to be 17.
17.
On September 3rd. Oof. He may never eat cake. He may never blow out a candle, and because he can't walk or talk, and he eats through a tube. And but he's going to be 17 years old, and I think my daughter, and I can't thank her enough for just being so brave, take the responsibility and not to let him stay in hospital. And as we all know the story of Jordan stayed in hospital and never left and passed on.
Yeah.
Now you got the program called Jordan's Principle. Well, my grandson had the same thing as Jordan's chronic illnesses. They both were the same. And ours were lucky, got to live, got the age of 17 now, just a few days from now, and just a couple of days, and I'll be for sure trying to put a birthday cake in front of him and sing happy birthday to him, and I'm sure he understands some of that stuff, and because he knows how knows how to use a laptop. It just amazes me. I just sit there, and I was watching him on video yesterday. I was talking through Zoom, and as I was traveling, I was yelling at him, and so he could hear me through the phone. And my daughter said, "Show him what song you like." And he went pushing through pulling my daughter's hand into the iPad and pushing what he wanted to play, I guess. So, people don't you don't think because he can't talk or anything, but he can listen.
Yeah,
I'm sure he knows what's going on, and he doesn't like touch. He doesn't like people touching him too much. So, but again, happy birthday, baby Ron. I'm very proud of you as Papa. So, also there's a happy birthday going to Chris Brown, General Manager of Lake Manitoba Resort. Our golf course is packed. Our sports lounge and our pro shop, golf shop is doing lots. By the way, our RV camps are going to be ready. I've been, pushing this, as you know, on the show now for over a year and a half. We had some problems with we had to put some new water systems in place because of permits that you must meet and abide with. And so that held us back for over a year. And we had to put a lift in and all these things for the water system, because what we decided to do is invest more money by having a direct water and sewer hookup to our RVs. So when people bring their RV camps there, they don't have to worry about flushing in their own little septics in their RVs. It actually goes directly into water sewer into the system. So it costs us more money, but it's going to be really convenient for those that are going to be renting from there.
That's a dream,
yeah. So if you're looking for a spot, to anybody listening, now's the time to try to book your spot, choose your spot, and get up there and book it for 5 years, 10 years, whatever you want to have, and you'll have your own little cottage away from the urban centers. Also, happy birthday, 50th birthday is going to Bernice and Fred Chartrand's, Mr. Dean Thomas's sister, who is celebrating their wedding anniversary on Saturday, August 30th. So big kudos to you, Bernice and Fred, and happy 50th. Happy 29th wedding anniversary is going to Minister Will Goodon and Kelly Saunders, Professor Kelly Saunders, celebrating their anniversary on Monday, September 1st. So that concludes the birthdays. And, of course, for those loved ones I don't have in my report, my condolences go to all their families, no matter who they are. They're part of our Métis family and friends, and of course, our nation sends prayers out to their families. There was also a big announcement on Thursday, August 28th. Indigenous Women's Secretariat was very clearly Infinity Women's Secretariat. Of course, the spokesman is Anita Campbell. Elder Linda St. Cyr did the prayers, and we had very, very fortunate of getting Rebecca Chartrand, who's the new minister, Canada Minister for Northern Arctic Affairs, and she was there. They had a tough sod turning ceremony, but they didn't have it at the facility where it's being built because they can't disclose that. They can't let because the facility is going to be there for women that are being abused, and that they could find some refuge, and they can stay up to 2 years actually, in 10 or 12 apartments. And so they put mud on a tarp, and they were able to turn the mud together at the MMF building, but not disclosing location. Bernadette Smith was also there, Minister of Housing and Addictions and Homelessness. So kudos to you, Bernadette, being there. And Nahani was there. It's great to see Nahani. I haven't seen her for a while. I kind of feel bad I didn't show up because I would love to spend some time with Nahani. She's got a busy schedule. It's always working and traveling. But I want to have some discussions with her on Bill 92 and Push Canada. We're working together, Nahani and the Premier and myself and my Minister, Mona Bures. We're pushing very, very hard to get Bill 92 in place because that's the prevention services. That means so much, and Nahani's got great support towards us and wants to see Bill 92 come into play here. So, Nahani, thank you again for coming down. I do apologize for not being there. I would have loved the opportunity to pull you aside and talk some business. And I know she's working very hard, and she's got to keep on pushing the agenda. And I know we'll eventually get 92. Just a matter of when is the question. And I raised it now with the new Minister of Canada, and it's still on our agenda with the Prime Minister coming up at a meeting. Bill 92 will be on my agenda. Also, Jack Park was there. He's always at the Infinity Women's Secretariat meetings, and Frances Chartrand was there. She's, of course, Minister of Early Learning and Childcare. They're going to build a childcare center along with the Infinity Women's Transition Center. So it's a big event. So kudos to Anita and all the work she did. And, of course, you had a question about funding, who provided, how much. And we got $4.3 million from the federal government through the National Housing Strategy. We got from the province. We got, I believe, $800,000 from the government. No, $630,000 from housing addiction and $250,000 from homelessness. And the $3.4 million came from the Manitoba Federation. to build this transition center, because our cabinet and myself personally wanted to make sure that we did have something and that women have a place to turn to. And I spoke on a show, I think maybe two shows ago, where a video was shown to me where this man is fighting his wife. We'll call it a common wife, probably. I don't think they're married. And he punched her like a man. You know, he punched her, right across the face, and she went flying off her feet. And, a guy like that should be beaten. I know I shouldn't promote hostility and things of that nature, but I don't know where does he think he could just fight a woman like that and beat her so viciously, So I hope he's dealt with by the criminal system. But again, where does a woman like that go to? She fears for her life, and it's happening directly in a video live. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had my blood boiling. I was just so angry. And so this transitional center will be a place for women that are abused like that to have a safe place and place to start their lives again if necessary, and take their children to make sure that she knows their children are safe. So again, kudos to Anita and the rest of the team and all the ministers that were there. Also had a chance to meet an MP from Northland, New Zealand, from the Maori people. She's an MP for the government of New Zealand. Her name is Willow Jean Prime. So we had a very good meeting. We shared a lot of our ideas and experiences, both from the Maori's perspective and from our perspective, and also from the government of New Zealand. And she was quite taken by the Federation's strategy, our growth, our development, our vision, in fact, even a lot of our economic visions. When we talk about artisans and we talk about fur, we talk about the economic asset purchasing of buildings everywhere and building our land and capital asset base. And she was very, very impressed at our pharmacies, now we own, Edstone Place, all these other businesses that we're acquiring and purchasing, and not only in one location, but across the entire province, and some places like in Ottawa, and of course we're moving into Western Canada soon, with more investments and purchases and buying. And also shared with her our continued work with Colombia on panela and coffee. And panela is actually a sugar, a natural sugar, and it's something that I think we've done studies on for over 2 years at the River College with the culinary classes or structure, and they came back with some of the positive and strong recommendations. Panela is going to be a major mover when it comes to recipes and so forth, because of its ability to combine with other products and bring out more of the taste of other products better than white sugar does. So anyways, that was a good meeting we had with her, and she's actually trying to arrange now for our ambassador or our economic party to get to go to New Zealand, go meet the Maoris, and we can co-share some of their business strategies, our business strategies. So I did talk to them about our program called Standing Tall, which we had in some of the schools in Winnipeg. A hell of a good program. It was not really well supported by the province. It's unfortunate, but we believe by all the records and all the data and information we received back that the program was a damn good program, and that we borrowed it from the Maori people in New Zealand, and it was very simplistic in many ways. All it was is getting mothers from other families to come into the classroom and sit there all day with the kids while the teacher was performing her duties. So this way the teacher can actually focus on teaching instead of focusing on some kids having trouble in class or themselves disrupting the class and so forth. So the moms that were inside the classroom would actually, take the child out of the classroom, try to have some discussions with the child. Then from there, the mom would go see the mom of the child now. So these are moms to moms, and they talk about, what the kid was doing in school and, how can they work together to find a way to solve the problem. So that really resonated well with the Maori people, and their statistics showed that their kids were graduating with higher marks in a greater prosperous graduation system. So it just shows that, because a lot of parents will fear talking to a teacher, the title of a teacher, police officer, and things of that nature. They tighten up, they don't run a share. But when we talk to a fellow mom, they're more adapted to speak freely from mom to mom. Also today is the annual corn roast at Riel House from 12 to 4. Come enjoy complimentary corn at Riel House. It's corn and cob. See live veteran music and dance, learn finger weaving, beading, jigging, and more. So don't forget your lawn chairs. Bring your lawn chairs. It's, of course, Riel house, and that's Riel, where his mom lived there. It was built in 1881. The house shows the Riel family home as it was in 1886. You'll see when you go there if you've never been to Riel house. And that's what some of the things that does amaze me. Even when we bought the Bank of Montreal, when we looked at the people that worked in the bank, what do you call them in the front there? There's a name for them.
The tellers?
Tellers, yeah. When they were actually came from Quebec and other places, because Montreal Bank comes from there, and they stayed there. They had to live there. And we couldn't believe how tiny their little bedrooms, their little beds were so small.
Really?
I was thinking, holy man, these must have been small people. So when you look at Riel House, it's no different. It's really small beds, small framed, and low, very tiny in many fashions. And so you can tell the people were much smaller in that era at the time. So, but you get to see where Riel and his family lived and how they actually lived. You'll see the wood stove, which I think I bragged about a little bit on the show here. I found a wood stove. Melinda helped me from an elderly lady and family that wanted to sell theirs. We found it in Brandon. I actually put it outside my house and protect it from the winter, of course. And but I want to look at making bannock outside and cooking moose meat outside or fish outside. So in the kitchen, I have an outdoor kitchen, and I have a wood stove now, which I'm looking forward to. Where my mom cooked when I was a kid. That's where she did all her cooking, and even her water is a water tank that comes beside the stove. And all the old people listening right now probably know what I'm talking about. And the young generation will wonder, what the hell is he talking about? But wood stoves were what brought us to where we are today, and the food tastes a hell of a lot better, I tell you, when you cook it in that old-fashioned wood stove. So when you ever come to visit them one day, and not only you'll be quite proud of that.
I want to come visit, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, you'll have to. You'll be proud. Okay, on closing, I would like to say again, looking forward to upcoming discussions on, we've heard now more good news about Bill C-5. We know it's starting to move, and we need to really, I think, focus our attention now on Churchill. We've been lobbying, of course, for Churchill to be one of the selected sites that Canada is going to invest into a port, and that will mean, of course, billions of dollars coming into northern Manitoba, and opportunity after opportunity, job after job, opportunities for families to start getting jobs and long-term jobs, not 1 year. We're talking 10 years, 20 years, because the investment will also lead now to a new opportunity to transfer our LNG, our gas, and our oils, our minerals, and protect our farm products. And so once the port is reinvested on, it's going to open a new segue into opportunity, in which again will lead to the rail line that's there owned by Indigenous people to really begin to prosper and evolve and become a major player on the moving of product. And so I'm really supporting strongly Bill C-5. I know we still got to be cautious about the environment, and I think we will all keep our heads open and our eyes definitely wide open, and making sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the economy and the environment. At the same time, the economy is going to be the one that will drive our families to be in a better place where they can have money now and help ensure they can help the environment. A lot of people that don't have money, how can they help with the environmental challenges they face? Mm-hmm. So if they do have money, they can buy better product more or less affecting the environment, because now they'll have a job and they'll have money and they'll be able to purchase well. And so you start looking at there's pros and cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons, and we need to make sure that we take an opportunity to get this done and be part of the process. So that's something I'm pushing very, very hard. I know the Premier has been lobbying hard. I give kudos to the Premier. The agreement that we signed with SCO, with the Southern Chiefs Organization, is to actually talk about our relationship and working towards major projects of this nature, because they will come. And trust me, the workers from around this entire country and around the world will probably try to also venture in there to get a piece of that action. So we've got to make sure we're working together to bring our most advanced companies in play. Also to make sure that our people that are eligible to get jobs, body strength and everything in place, and mind and training that they need, that we should try to find ways to be more cost effective, helping each other, support each other, create the environment where we can have the classes necessary to get the permits they would need, training permits I'm talking about, to get these jobs. So there's a lot yet to be done, but the opportunity is definitely staring us right in the face, and we can't miss this, because trust me, and everybody that's listening, there's people and other companies, other locations across Canada that are bidding to be chosen. And we're not the only one. Right now, we just hope that Carney will stick to what he's saying, that the the Port for Churchill is one of the investments they're looking at. Now, we got to hope that we support Rebecca Chartrand getting that done, and support our Premier to getting it done, and support our chiefs to getting it done, and at the same time support the Métis government to get it done. So we need to make sure that we are front and center of this process and make sure that we can line up our systems to create great opportunity for our people. And I just can imagine, when I talked to our Premier today, I was talking about just imagine, hundreds of people getting jobs and buying houses and buying cars, buying things for their children that they only can see in a TV or see in the internet or in the telephones. And they see these products, they see these clothesline, the different kind of clothes they'd love to purchase, but they don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine now their parents are finally getting really good salaries and working, and that they could actually start to purchase stuff that they should be having and that they should be able to enjoy like any other Canadian or citizen in the world that has an economic strong base. They have the ability to buy these things. So this is what is important that we got to look at, because this is not just about us, it's about the next generation and getting ready for them. So anyways, I'll close off there. I asked them to play Cowboy and yourself to play Georgie Jones. I hope you found it.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, who's going to fill your shows. But I'd like to say a special thank you to Blair Olafson. He gave me a dish called Rula Palasa. I think I'm probably butchering it. It's Rulapyllsa. It's Icelandic spice meat roll. Blair's got a Métis citizenship card. His family, one side is Icelandic, the other side was Métis, and he's got his Métis citizenship card. But he said he likes cooking and eating this particular traditional dish that he grew up on is from his grandparents, I guess. Rulapyllsa. It's really a rolled up beef flank, and they roll it up and then they slice it very thin, and they cook it. I think they bake it.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me that when I stopped by in the Narrows, and so I was quite pleased. And there was a yard sale. I couldn't stop myself. Let's go to the yard sale. I want to check it out.
Love it.
So I pulled it there. Jesse was driving for me. I said, I don't care. He drove by. I said, no, you turn around. I want to go to that yard sale. And it turned out that I met Blair. He's a Métis citizen, and he fed me that Rulapyllsa. And then the lady that actually owned the house there said, anybody who ever passes, like 3 floors. It's like 3 sea cans they look like, and I always wonder. And she explained to me why, but I won't say it on the show. And anyways, so I want to say thank her to Rosie. She's Ukrainian descent. Her name is Rosie Belkuski, and she gave me head cheese. So you know how kind people are. You just stop and you visit. And next thing you know, can you try this? You want to eat this? Do you like head cheese? I just made some. You could take it home. And so I was very pleased. And his husband Blair wanted to show me that other people were sitting around there, and he wanted to introduce me. And his wife said, "I know he is. You don't have to tell me. I knew as soon as I saw him."
Mm-hmm.
So, Blair said I didn't recognize him right away. So I guess I'm a little bit a celebrity when they see me sometimes. They want to show me
You definitely are.
So, anyways, it's great to stop and visit nice people like that, and have a traditional meal on their side, but at the same time see such hospitality and kindness.
Well, I was in Sturgeon Landing yesterday, and then we have fans out there too in the Métis Hours. So.
Oh, right on, right on. Well, Métis Hours is a combination of Ray St. Germain, yourself, me, and all the beautiful entertainers we're fortunate to have and play their music. So,
Absolutely.
Again, with that being said, my prayers, of course, go out to the Bear family, go out to the Descharlet family, and all those other ones, loved ones we've lost. And again, this is our musical legends that are slowly disappearing on us. And let's hope that Georgie Jones can send a trickle of a good feeling in the hearts of those that lost the loved ones, that they know that they're out there still and playing probably in some great opera or great hall in up above in the sky. So
Absolutely.
Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys next Saturday.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.